factors that impacted our results we had two major industrial strikes over the last 6 months. One was from our lock supplier, which resulted in one of our processing plants standing without raw material for a period of 7 days. The second factor right after that was this transport strike that impacted deliveries for more than 5 weeks, where we could not deliver products to our customers. And then on top of that, we also had fires in the Mpumalanga region that also impacted operations. During those periods, unfortunately, the mills cannot run optimally, and it's very difficult to service the market. These things impacted our results, but despite that, we still had a revenue growth of 5%, mainly driven by price increases that York managed to achieve in a very competitive market. Volumes sold, however, did not increase by the same extent, and York did build a bit of stock in terms of our stock levels is at levels which we would not like to have it, but it's not an area of concern for us. Our results for December 2012 shows a revenue increase of 5%. Our gross profit margin was maintained at 36%, and we've improved our cash generating ability over the 6 months period. Given that, we also had a revaluation of our biological asset in terms of cost and yield efficiencies in the plantation. That went up by 18.9%, 18.9 million rand. The major drivers behind this is volume growth, but also change in the discount rate. But that number was a new contributed asset cost calculation that was added to the biological asset to the extent of 20 million. So if that cost was not added to our biological asset, the value actually went up closely to 40 million rand. All of that resulted in a TNAV winning up by 8% to 6.71 rand a share, and giving our current trading value of close to just about 4 rand. York trades at a substantial discount to our current share price. One of the key highlights of our 6 months results was a major swing in our pricing facilities, where we continued along the lines of our cost optimization philosophy, where York perceives ourselves as the cost leader in the South African market. And we will continue along this avenue to see how further we can improve our cost utilization in the organization. Another factor that did impact our results were the escalation, in terms of electricity, fuel costs, but of lately the labour cost. York is not too concerned about the actual minimum wage rate that's been determined. It's more about the other cost elements that goes around it that we are focusing on. Internally, York's minimum wage is way above the rate that the Minister just announced. So we're quite, as a company internally, we have already, moved very much forward in terms of addressing, our wage rate disparities. However, we still use contractors that does pay at these minimum rates, and these are the people that we're currently sitting down and working through all these various scenarios. Over and all, good results from our processing division. And in an environment where we purchase lock from a third-party supplier, it's 45% higher than a comparable period from last year. The main reason why we do this is our H-loss distribution of plantation is not conducive at this stage to be harvested, and it makes more sense for us to buy locks from external parties. If we didn't had to buy those locks from external parties, York would have put additional 22 million rand on the set of results we produced. That should give you an indication of our earnings ability and locked up in the organization.